Welcome to the Best Known Church Show, where we show you how to 10x your reach with church marketing that will help you increase your impact, make more disciples, and become the cornerstone of your community again. This is for the leaders with an outrageous vision, because anything less would be an inaccurate reflection of our Creator. The ones who have unreasonable faith, because you know God works unreasonable miracles. And the ones who are relentless in the pursuit of your calling, because anything less would not make a good and faithful servant. If that's you, you're in the right place. Now, please welcome your host and guide on this journey to become the best known organization in your community, Justin Nava.
Welcome to the Best Known Church Show. I'm going to get this set up here properly. There we go. If we haven't met before, my name is Justin Nava. I am I'm your website guy. I want more people to come to your church, and more often than not, people are going to go online to learn a little bit about you, to make sure that, number one, you're not a crazy church. Number two, you're not a crazy person as a pastor. And number three, to see if they can fit in. So I'm sharing with you how you can use your website to get people connected to your church. And not only that, I want you to be more than a brochure. I just realized my lights aren't on. Alexa, go live. Of course, she's like, I'm not sure how to help you with that. Let's try that one more time. Alexa, go live. There we go. Hey, now we're in studio mode. I know people will go to your website first before they go to you first. And so you want to make sure that your website is found. And this is especially true for Christmas. You want people to see what's going on at your church at Christmas. It makes it easier for them to go from curious to interested. And then I'm also going to show you how to take them from interested to committed, right? We want to take that attention that you have and turn it into intention. And this is what we did last year. We're doing it again this year. And I'm very excited because we've got a brand new Christmas landing page that I'm going to show you. I sent it out to clients yesterday, and already people are pretty excited and telling us, hey, we need this. So I am very excited. I'm going to pull that up and show you on today's call as well. So if you are watching this and you want more people to come to your Christmas service, we're going to be talking about this on the YouTube channel here, my YouTube channel, Justin Nava, Nava Church Marketing. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss a single thing, putting out videos almost every day, almost every weekday, I should say. So make sure you like and subscribe, much like you would want people to like and subscribe to your church's events, whatever else you might want them to like and subscribe. Maybe it's your own website there. So I'm going to pull up the Christmas landing page template, and we are going to pull that up. So you have to understand, number one, you have to understand if you want more people to come to your Christmas services, okay, unless you are a mainstay in your community, unless you just have a long time trust and a large trust in your community, you're going to have a hard time getting people to just blindly become guests of your church. There is a process that you have to take them through. And that process looks like this. I'm going to pull up my screen here. Oh, I'm off centered here. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay. That'll have to do. So you have to realize that there is a guest journey that people go through when they learn about your church. So first they hear about your church, right? They hear about you. Okay. They're not going to go straight to your church. All right. There's your little church building steeple. That's terrible. I am off today. So let's try this again. There's your church. Boom. Okay. They are not going to go from hearing about you to just running over to your church. All right. I'm not saying that they never will, but a majority of people will not just go from, oh, that's interesting, let's go. And they just put it in their calendar. They get ready to wake up in the morning. They get ready to make sure they're dressed in time for the cantata or whatever you're doing on Christmas. They are not going to take that journey. What it is usually going to look like is they're going to hear about you, and then they're going to investigate you. Okay. That's my little magnifying glass there. All right. They're going to investigate you and see who you are, or verify who they think you are. And that will usually go in the form of your website. Okay, so there's your little website there. All right. And then a lot of churches, this is where they stop. They think that people will go from the website to just going ahead and going to church. It's not how that works anymore. It used to be how it worked, but now people are so busy, so distracted, got so many things going on. You and I both know this with the amount of children's sports going on, children activities. There needs to be something else in place. Okay, so they will not do that. They will not go from just looking at you and, well, they you get a little bit more, but most people will not do that. Okay, here's the secret sauce to filling your Christmas services. Okay, you have to get their attention and you have to nurture it into a commitment, and then you nurture that commitment. My favorite way to do it is email. You can tell it's my favorite because I got the pictures right on the first try. All right, and then from there, they actually come. So you've got like so few people that go from hearing to showing up on Christmas. You've got a few more people that go from hearing about you to checking you out online to then coming to Christmas. All right. And then you've got even more people that if they say, I'm interested in attending, I want to RSVP. Maybe you have a guest gift and you give that to someone for showing up on Christmas Day or for your Christmas service. Then, they RSVP. And then you get in contact with them. You stay in contact. Okay. You can use the phone. You can use email. You can use text messages. But this is the process. Okay. Now you can also shortcut this process by doing an ad. All right. And it goes straight to here. And I'll explain a little bit about what that looks like. So you don't even need a Christmas landing page, but I'll show you what that can and should look like. Okay. So this is the process. It's a 3-step process. They get curious about you. They get interested about you. And then they become committed to you. And I'm not talking committed in a church membership format. I'm talking about committed like, okay, we're going to go. And you and I both know when it comes to losing weight, going to church, and taking on that latest hobby that you got, commitment doesn't always equal action. And so that's why I lean heavily into the word nurture. We need to nurture that curiosity into interest. And then we nurture that interest into commitment. And that shows up on our previous map as well. Okay, they hear about us and they become curious. And then they see this and they become interested. And then they commit. And I want that commitment in the form of an RSVP. Okay, you don't have to like it. That like, hey, we need to make sure that we like nurture people to actually show up to the things they commit to. But it's human psychology that's what we need to do. All right. That's just where we are in the modern world. I'm not asking you to like it. I'm not even asking you to accept it. I'm saying let's play within the rules of the game that we're given. And we're going to do it the most that we can to make sure, because your Christmas service, ideally, in my world, is a gospel presentation. It is someone engaging with the gospel in the form of a Christmas service, whether they want to do it with their family, they want to do it because they're bored, they want to do it because they, want their kids to stop being so snot-nosed spoiled. And you're like, okay, let's go to this Christmas service. Maybe it's a giant Christmas production. Okay. Like we have a church near us that puts on this huge production. They get like a couple years ago, they had an elephant on stage. They had some dude riding in on an elephant. You're like, what? How do they even get that thing in the building? It's crazy. Right. But all that's for naught if you don't have a gospel presentation. So you gotta, call people to repentance in that. So this is the journey, and you have to be there every step of the way. Okay. So let's look at the different ways. We're going to start with here. Okay. How do people hear about your church? Okay. Chances are you're going to do some kind of promotion for your Christmas service. There's always going to be a sign. You're going to put something on your sign, or you're going to print out a vinyl banner, Christmas service this time. You're also going to have some people that might be visiting church, and then you make that announcement in church. You are also hopefully doing a social media post about your Christmas services. Okay, so that's fine. You people can't take action without knowing, right? We love to say around here, if they don't know you, they can't go to you. So you got to make sure that people are hearing about your Christmas services. Now, the shortcut is to put some money behind it and get people to hear about it. Instead of waiting for someone to interact with you, to drive past you, just be in your general location vicinity, you want to get people actually engaged and connected with you. You can actually go out and generate that curiosity. Okay. In the marketing world, we call it advertising. And I know for a lot of people, that is a dirty word in church. I don't think it is a dirty word. It's just, let's not try to be PC about it. Let's just call it what it is. We want to advertise our church services. Again, why? Because if people don't know about you, they cannot go to you. If they don't know you, they can't go to you. So advertising is not a replacement for the gospel. It's not a replacement for evangelism. It's not a replacement for discipleship. It's not even a replacement for the church invite. All right, I did a lot of conferences last year talking about that. Advertising is not a replacement for any of that. Advertising is there to capture people's attention and try to nurture curiosity to get them to investigate further. All right, same reason you have a road sign. The road sign isn't there for the mailman. The road sign is there for people to drive by saying, there is hope and peace found here. There is redemption here. There is grace here in the form of our church. And you want people to know where your church is. That's why you have a road sign. You want people to know your Christmas service exists. That's why you have a banner. But for some reason, you take that banner and you give Facebook $50 and say, show this to 5,000 people. That's a problem? False. Okay. So I don't dance around the verbs we use, the words we use. Okay. That's marketing. All right. We could be engaged church creative. It's advertising, whether you call it or not. So I'm going to call it what it is. So you can advertise your church services to get more people aware of you within your vicinity and see who's available or willing to take a next step with you. Okay, so that's the first step. You got to get people to hear about your Christmas services, which means you have to do whatever it takes to get your Christmas service, get that information inspirationally in front of people, meaning don't just say we have Christmas services, say this is going to be something your family's going to remember forever. This is going to be something, this isn't your, maybe you're a youthful, edgy church, right? This ain't your grandma's Christmas cantata. I want to see a metal Christmas cantata. I think that'd be cool. Any churches doing that? Let me know. Put it in the comments and I'll live stream it. But you want to get people to hear about it. Okay. I love advertising. Meaning and I love social media advertising. You can use YouTube, you can use TikTok. But social media advertising is great because you can target it by location and you can target it by interest. So if you have like if you're very family focused for your Christmas services, you can show that ad just to families. All right. So I like to get people to hear about your Christmas services. Okay. And let's remember the law of large numbers. You cannot ignore that the more you do something, the more results you get out of it. This is especially true when you're working out. All right. I had a coach tell me one time, he's like, I would rather you work out with less than perfect form than skip a workout because you didn't have perfect form. Now, he obviously was like, let's do our best to have perfect form, right? But he said, even if you're doing a squat not entirely correct, you're doing a bench press not entirely correct, you are still working out muscles. You are still tearing fibers, which then need to be built up, which uses more calories, which increases your metabolism, which drops your weight with the proper nutrition. So you don't have to have the perfect invite. If you just get the invite out in front of more people, you will have more people showing up to your Christmas service. If you miss anything else I say in this talk, in this episode, get that in your head. The more people you present your Christmas service to, the more people you'll have become interested. Now, you can totally miss nurturing that interest and get zero out. That's why this isn't just about the advertisement. I'm going to go over the entire guest journey. Then maybe later episodes we'll go into how to structure the getting people to hear about it, going deeper into the website landing page, and then going deeper into the nurture sequence for the emails or texts. Okay. But that's the first step. You've got to get people to hear about it. I think that's something, by the way, that's something that we are missing in discipleship and evangelism is just the get your story and get God's story on your lips in front of as many people as possible. It's a lot of large numbers. If you evangelize to 30 people, I would be very surprised if less than one, meaning one, did not say, tell me more. In fact, I think that's the statistic. You have to share. I can't remember if it was your first time or just overall. You need to share your story and God's redemption story and tell Jesus to 30 people on average, and then you'll get one person make a decision to follow Christ. So, it's the law of large numbers. You keep sharing your story, you keep evangelizing, you will have more people, because a funny thing happens when you evangelize. God sends you people that his Spirit's working in to draw them to him. Well, a funny thing happens when you put your Christmas services out to more people with a sign, with a mailer, with a Facebook ad, with a YouTube ad, with a radio ad, with flyers. Funny thing happens when you put your Christmas service out in front of more people show up. Now, we can take that law of large numbers and we can stop there. And that's where a lot of churches do stop, and you do get some traction. But in marketing, we have something called a conversion rate, which means for every 10,000 mailers we put out, one family shows up. That's a 0.01% conversion rate, if my math is right. Or we put out a Facebook ad and 100 people sign up, one family shows up. That's a 1% conversion rate, right? Ideally, we're aiming for 3 to 5. All right. So how do you get that number up? Nurture. That's the key word of Nava Church marketing is nurture. Everything we do is to nurture a discipleship relationship with Christ, to nurture your church's discipleship process, to nurture your community, your neighbors, to connecting with you in a meaningful way. I don't want them just to show up and win a free car and then leave. I want them to show up and be presented the gospel message in a way that they can actually take action on, repent and follow Jesus. All right. So let's talk about raising that quote unquote conversion rate. All right. Meaning if we're going to advertise and yeah, we're going to put out a lot of stuff and we're just going to expect 1 out of 100, how can we get that up to 3 out of 100? Okay. That's where you get to nurturing that curiosity. Oh, that's interesting. Into interest. Oh, I want to go there. I want to go to that. It's one thing to tell me, hey, we got a new Mexican restaurant in town. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm curious. And it's from a 4-star Michelin chef from Mexico, who creates food based on the food that she grew up with on a corn farm. And so everything is corn inspired, corn based, and healthy. I don't know, whatever you want to say. That's how you take that curiosity to interest. Now, some people aren't interested in that and they leave, and that's fine. All right, we go knock on another door. But for other people, now you're not just a Christmas service. You're not just a church. Now you're one that's specifically designed or created for them. You can actually take that curiosity and turn it into interest because they feel like it's made for them. You ever like look through flipping through the TV channels, right? Don't really do this anymore on YouTube or anything like that. But for my older folks, which is most of the audience that I have here, because I am an old soul, you're flipping through channels and you see constant weight loss things. See, melt fat with just 5 minutes a day. Nah. Eat hamburgers to lose weight. Oh, tell me more, Nutrisystem. That hooked me. That got my curiosity and converted it into interest. I love hamburgers. I want to lose weight. Let's marry the two. Well, hey, what a better way to get people to fill your Christmas services than to say, this is why you should care. This is why you should show up. Here's what you need to do next. And that's where taking that curiosity from when they hear about you and converting it into interest. And one of the ways that we like to do that, if you're online, drive them to your Christmas landing page. If you're doing a banner or something, make sure you have that Christmas landing page either as a web address on the banner, or if you're going to use your main website, make it very easy for them to go find the Christmas information. And that's the second step. So I'm going to bring up, what does that Christmas landing page look like? I'm going to show you an example here. So if you're listening to the audio, by all means, please go to the YouTube channel and like and subscribe while you're there. And I'm not the one that created this idea. Many church website platforms have a template for you that you can just copy paste. As far as I know, we're the only ones that are actually like show you the template and then we'll customize it for you. Obviously, the information needs to change. Ours includes things like, if you're having an Advent season every week, volunteer opportunities. If people are looking for volunteer for your Christmas services, RSVP, obviously, for a guest gift. I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. But if you can drive more traffic to that interest page, that landing page, you can generate more interest. And then I'm going to show you how to convert that interest into commitment. All right. So let me pull up on the YouTube here and Spotify video if you're watching on Spotify. Let's get that here. All right. And get the right layout. Boom. There we go. So this is the thing here. The landing page. There you go. This is just a preview here. Boom. There we go. So actually I'm going to go to mobile because most people are going to, and this is where you need to make sure you know who you're working with and make sure you're working with someone that knows what they're doing. More people are going to visit your mobile website. So your mobile website needs to be the focus, not the desktop. So whenever you're previewing a website, just a little aside, don't just sit here and be like, oh, the desktop looks so good. Look at the mobile. That's what most people are going to see. All right. Now, this is a template. This is something that we customize. So it is very bland, hopefully I think you'll think of it as beautiful as I do, but right at the top of it, we want to call people out. Hey, this is for families. Hey, this is for people looking for a church. All right. And then you want to showcase information about your church. Like, what is your main takeaway? What is the main thing that you do? What is the thing that is unique to you? What is the one thing you want people to remember when they leave? Okay. So this is a very generic, we're saving a seat for you. I wouldn't launch a page like this, or at least with that comment. I would say, for example, at the church coming up, a Christmas you'll never forget. And then a photo of your church, obviously. And then you want to showcase what your church is doing for Christmas. All right. So you want to make sure that you are sharing what your Christmas events are. If you're doing a Christmas Eve candlelight service, if you're doing a family Christmas, if you're doing Advent, what's there available for the kids. You want to make sure that you have information about what is happening on Christmas. Okay. And I like to make sure there's usually 3 things. So if you do have like one Christmas service, then you can say, what does that look like? Hey, we're going to have donuts and Christmas themed snacks before service. Snack sounds weird before service. Then we're going to have the service. Then we're going to have lunch afterwards, or then we're going to have a gift exchange. I don't know, whatever your church does, let's make that, let's showcase what the Christmas season is about. That's not just maybe a service, but something for your entire family. All right. If you are doing Advent, include stuff about what you're doing. If you're doing something like the love, joy, peace, hope, I'm going to forget all the weeks. What does the Advent look like? Then you can turn it into a general church. Hey, come connect with us for 4 weeks. And now you got them committed for 4 weeks. We like to include volunteer opportunities. Sometimes you'll get people that need volunteer hours. You're going to have church members that obviously want to volunteer. So you can include this. Most of our websites, we don't use this section, but for some of them, they want something like this. So we include this. All right. And then you want the what to expect. Okay. Many times this is going to be a copy of your plan to visit page because this really is acting as your plan to visit or next steps page. So you want to include what to expect. What is going to happen? Are you going to be friendly? Are you going to shake my hand? Where should I park? Is there something for my kids? Do you teach the Bible? What's worship like? All right. Is there coffee and donuts beforehand? All right. Include pictures of your church, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously because it's not obvious. Okay. And then you want an RSVP form. You can use contact us. Do you have a question? I mean, it used to be if you have a question or need special accommodations, fill out this form. You get a lot of people saying, my grandma's in a wheelchair. Can she go to your church? I'm a Methodist. You're a Baptist church. Can I go to your Christmas service? Whatever. And then you always want to do a final call to action. Hey, we're excited, RSVP. What I like to use the RSVP form, though, is to get people to commit to coming to your church, meaning sign me up. Now, why would someone sign up for your Christmas service? Ideally, to get a gift. All right. Save a seat, maybe. But if it's like really packed, like that Christmas special spectacular that they do at the church near us, they're doing tickets because that thing sells out every time. So if you're concerned about that, RSVP, save a spot. But what I like to do is I like to provide a gift. It could just be a regular guest gift. I got one here from a church we visited last Sunday, and it's a nice Proverbs devotional journal and some candy, a pen, Post-its. It's fine. I like to do a special Christmas gift. All right, RSVP, and we'll have a Christmas package, and it doesn't have to be anything special. Just some Christmas cookies or just chocolate chip cookies in a nice little Mylar bag you get from Hobby Lobby. I mean, you're talking about $20 of resources, plus some manual labor, and you can have gifts for 50 people. And I would even go above and beyond. Just everyone gets a gift. All right. And that doesn't mean if they don't sign up, you don't give the gift, but you're giving the gift to let them know, hey, we want you to sign up and commit. It does two things. On their end, it's them making a commitment. So they're, kind of like, okay, yeah, I'll be there. And number two, it gives you the chance to follow up and nurture them to actually show up to that commitment. Does that make sense? Are you following me on that? So I always want to have a way, and this is true with anything, any kind of marketing your church does, to convert interest. I'm interested. Let me see what to expect on this Christmas service. What's going to be available? What's for my kids? Convert that or nurture that into commitment. Fill out this form. We'll send you, we'll save a special gift for you. Or you can do what we call an online guest gift, which you can deliver right away. RSVP, let us know you're coming. We'll send you a Christmas prayer guide to help lead your family through prayer this Christmas. We'll send you 10 of our favorite Christmas volunteer activities to remember the season. We'll send you 10 things to do when you're snowed in with the kids, 10 family activities. If you have the means and resources, we'll send you some craft supplies. We'll send you a special ornament. You can really be creative on that. And then once you have their information, now you can stay connected with them. And a lot of church leaders will tell me, Justin, I don't like that. We're trading information. First of all, number one, we do that every Sunday with the Connect card. Okay. Hey, fill out this form. Let us know you're here. We have record over your attendance and we'll give you a gift on the way out. Now you're going to give them the gift whether they fill out the form or not. Right. So, do with that what you will. We're just doing it ahead of time now, so we can continue the relationship, continue the nurturing to get them in to hear the gospel and be discipled. Okay. All of this is on mission with the church. None of this is heresy. You don't want to do it. That's your liberty. All right. But we're just taking what we already do in person, getting people to hear about it by driving by a sign. Well, we're just taking that sign and putting it online. And then, asking people to fill out a Connect card so we know that they were there and we can serve them better. Well, now we're just asking them to do it online ahead of time. And then you can follow it up with emails. And you can go on my channel, Nava Church Marketing, and look at our email framework. But essentially, you're going to send them an email that says, hey, we've got you signed up. Here's your guest gift, or here's your confirmation for when you come in with that gift to get that gift in person. Then you send them information about the event, which really you're just sending them the landing page again, because all the information's there. You might, just type it out real quick. Like in ours, even though we have the plan to visit page on websites, we still say, here's our address. Here's what time we show up. Here's where you park. You can put that in the email. Then you nurture them not only about the event, but how about a little Jesus? Send an email with some testimonies of what God's doing in your church. This year, we celebrated 30 baptisms. That's 30 people turning away from their sin, breaking their bondage inside their heart, and turning towards Jesus to live a fruitful, everlasting life. This family here was going through divorce. And through the counseling ministry at our church, they turned from that, what's the word I'm looking for? They turned from that option and saved their marriage, rescued their marriage in the name of Jesus Christ. There are a lot of stories of healing. I saw a prayer request come through. That was actually a praise report on a website. I was very, very excited to see that. Or no, it was a Google review. That's what it was. Share those stories to get people excited. Share some behind the scenes. This stuff doesn't just have to belong on Facebook. Do a little snap pic. Hey, we're setting up the Christmas trees. You put them on social media. You can email it to people. Hey, this is your reminder. We got this Christmas event coming up in 2 weeks. We just put these Christmas trees up. We are getting things ready to go. We've got, there is nothing wrong with making that an email to get people excited. or a text if you want to do text. If you got the means to take people's phone numbers and text them ethically, legitimately, legally, then do that. Again, if you don't want people to be consumerists of church, don't treat them like consumers. Don't sit there and say, here we are, we're here if you need us. Treat them like actual discipleship relationships that God's putting them in front of us to be. So when you get their information, use it to point to Jesus. Use it to help them take that next step of the discipleship journey that you're on, that you want them on, to tell them about Jesus, or to just make sure that they show up to the event. The reason why the culture is the way it is right now is because the church has stepped to the sideline and said, we're here if you need us. We need, like soldiers on a battlefield in this spiritual war, we need to step up, go on the front lines. We're not going to attack, but we are going to go. We need to step up on the front lines and go. And now we can do that at scale, because instead of needing 50 people to go knock on 50 doors, you can have one person send emails to 50 people, sharing what God's doing, inviting them, nurturing them, asking questions ahead of time, and sharing all the wonderful preparation that your church is doing. Saying, hey, we got the sanctuary set up and ready to go. We ran these test batches of cookies and they are kid approved. Put a picture of your kiddo with a mouthful of cookies and a thumbs up. That doesn't have to stay on social media. If you put it on social media, you're relying on the algorithm and its mysterious grace to show your pictures. But guess what? Unless you actually put some money behind it, 3% of the people that follow you are actually going to see it on average. Or you can email and text it, say, hey, we're so excited. We're ready to have you. We're ready for you. How can we pray for you this Christmas? And you can send that to 50 people and 50 people are going to get it. Does that make sense? Was that a little heavy? That's how serious this is. This is the opportunity in front of us. Okay. So I will break that down in further detail in future shows, because I realized this was a lot to cram into one. But to recap, okay, we want to take people from curious to interested to committed, which means we want as many people to hear about us. We want to direct them to go to your website to learn about you. And then when they're on their website, we want them to RSVP so that then you can stay connected with them, so that then you can remind them and nurture them to come to church to hear the gospel. Does that make sense? So we'll break that down. We'll talk about maybe some ads that we like, maybe some signs that we like. And then we'll break down the Christmas landing page further. And then we'll talk about the nurture sequence. And we might have to talk about some guest gifts too. All right. So let's make that the plan for November. You do this week by week with me. You'll have a guest journey mapped out and created. Guys, I should be charging for this. I'm going to do it for free here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. If you're watching on Instagram Live or Twitter, whatever, go follow on YouTube, Nava Church Marketing. Because I want you to see this so that you can get more people to your Christmas services. I want to see your Christmas services filled. And for some of you, filled is like 80% capacity. I think that's great. For some of you, filled would even be, normally we have 35, 40 people and you get 60. I think that's awesome. PJ on YouTube says, thank you. You are helping us. And I'm sure you, other local churches. Yeah, that's why I do this. The local church. All right. So let's make that the plan. We'll talk about getting people to hear about your Christmas. We'll talk about converting that curiosity into interest. And then we'll talk about the nurture sequence to get people to church. That'll take us through the end of November. So we'll make that the plan. So if you are watching and you are not subscribed, click the subscribe button. If you have not liked this video, click the like button, just so I know that we are on target. We are on mission. We are helping local people. PJ, I can't wait to see you next week. We are live. We're doing this live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central. The show goes up on Spotify and other podcast platforms the day before. So to make sure that you're here, you can ask questions, direct the conversation, join us live on YouTube. to ask questions, comment, and let us know exactly what questions you have, because I want to make sure that we answer it and be as clear as possible. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next week.
That's going to do it for today's episode of the Best Known Church Show with Justin Nava. Be sure to subscribe to stay updated on the latest news, strategies, and resources that you need to reach 10x more people and become the best known in your community. To send us a message or leave a voicemail for Justin to be played on a future show, visit thebestknownchurchshow.com. And if you'd like to work with us so you can focus on your ministry, give us a call at 832-861-7654. Until next time, stay outrageous, unreasonable, and relentless.